Now we will begin the free time events for Gundham Tanaka, the ultimate breeder.
Let's make history.
Now then, it's time for me to make my next move. Even I can be bored to death.
Fine.
So, are you going to entertain me, fiend?
I spent time with Gundam today, quizzing each other about animals. And looks like we were closer. Okay, let's give him some. Let's give him a gift, our fabled mineral water, as always.
Pitiful.
Do you really think I'd be happy with something like this?
Nature, the collective
Fine,
will of
I
the
guess
world.
I'll accept it for the time being. You should prepare a better offering next time.
You fiend.
Whoa there, it's better if you don't get any closer than that. An automatic barrier is generated independently of my will.
It's not like I'm getting close, or even planning to get close.
Let me ask.
Which reminds me, there's something I haven't asked you yet. It doesn't matter that your temporary name, Hajime Hinata. Tell me your true name.
What the heck is this true name thing?
So you're not foolish enough to tell me so easily.
Fine.
Then tell me your hidden name.
I don't have anything like that.
What?
Then what is your special ability?
There's no way I have one of those.
How pitiful.
So you really are just a mere... I suppose it can't be helped. Then let me talk to you about something that even a mere human can understand.
What happened, sinner?
Ask me anything.
Oh, so I have to ask?
You fiend.
However, it's free for you to ask, but make sure you try not to understand.
If you flinch, you will die.
After knowing my true terror, it'll be quite a sight to see how long your sanity will last.
Does he want to talk or not? Which is it? Talking to him is starting to get annoying, but he's totally ready and waiting for me. I guess I have to ask something. What do you do with your free time usually?
Good instincts.
So you're interested in my lifestyle? Fine then, I shall reveal a portion of that to you.
Fine.
Training, human hunting, craft spell components, etc. Despite my looks, I'm quite the busybody. However, managing my website takes up the bulk of my time.
Huh?
I shall engulf this
Obviously,
world.
sorcerers around the world waiting to see my research results. Of course, my website has been magically enchanted, so only the chosen few. But mere human like you will only be able to access the dummy site called Exciting Breeding Journal.
I'd rather check out the Ultimate Breeder's exciting breeding journal anyway.
Fine.
Then we'll make sure to show you. Well, if we ever get out of here, that is.
What do you yearn
Well,
for?
are there any other questions?
What's your favorite food?
Fine.
You've certainly hit the mark well. I'm fond of the orange melon, which bears the face of the devil.
Are you talking about a pumpkin?
There is no other food as high in nutrients, nor as versatile to a variety of cooking methods. More importantly, its seeds are the most effective food source for my four dark devas of destruction. However, you must carefully wash them, dry them in the sunlight, peel off the thin skin, then lightly fry them.
I see. That sounds pretty difficult.
Silence.
Is there anything in this world that isn't difficult? Pleasure and pain are irrelevant as long as you have a purpose and take action for that sake.
You're right. That's exactly right. Gundam is hard to understand sometimes, but I do understand the intent behind his words. Somehow, even though it's only a little, I feel like I'm starting to get to know Gundam a little better.
Hold it. If you cherish your life, it's better if you don't come any closer. My magical beasts have a thirst to kill.
You mean your hamsters? I thought they were docile animals.
How pitiful.
Just as I thought, you know nothing. You will know true terror if you look down on them just because they fit into your palm. They are cruel devil beasts that will devour their parents, their siblings, and even their own children. Their territoriality is frightening. They'll never stop attacking until their opponent is dead.
Fall, my tears.
Today's fight started when Sandy got greedy and encroached upon Jumpy's territory. Jumpy was knocked aside and his foot stepped onto Magazi's territory. Then Magazi got angry and unleashed his anger onto Champy.
Listen well.
I was able to quell their rage by sacrificing my left hand, but it may not be that easy next time.
I see. That's troubling. Could that be the reason Gundam's hand is always wrapped in that bandage?
Let me ask.
By the way, do you know which species of my four Dark Devas of Destruction has the largest body?
You mean which species of hamster?
God damn, I forget.
I don't. I remember. Golden hamsters are the biggest species, right?
That was close.
Yes, those fearsome demon beasts boast the largest size among all hamsters. However, they're also the most docile and are known for being the smartest too. Other tribes feel no fear. Thus, they give it their all when biting and ripping what stands before them.
It appears you cannot
But only
escape.
Goldens know fear. Thus, they usually do not bare their teeth once they recognize you.
You're saying they understand what happens when they bite people.
This, too, must be the will
That's
of
why you must pay
causality.
attention to their stress levels when you're breeding them.
I certainly didn't know that.
Nature, the collective
However,
will of the
That
world.
isn't the only feature of Goldens. They have many other unlimited possibilities. Thus, their fur color, quality, and patterns. You could even say they have unlimited combination.
This body is uncooperative.
After much research, the fruits of my labor was about to be born. A fearsome demon beast with sparkling silver fur, hybrid creature with dominant spots and bands.
How foolish of me!
But now, all I could do is pray for the safety of the mother and child I've left behind.
I don't really understand what he's saying, but he seems to be worried about the hamsters he left behind. You were probably taking care of other animals, right? Are those demon beasts okay too?
Let's make history.
There are no problems in that regard. I have pupils all around the world. I have already given them orders to continue my research into the synthesis of demon beasts. They know how to avoid any lethal genetics. They will carry out my will and conduct no atrocious experiments.
I shall engulf
Beyond
the
that,
world.
I've already made arrangements to leave my demon beasts to those I trust.
He's crazy prepared. Listening to Gundam makes me rethink how much of a responsibility it is to raise pets.
What do you yearn?
You will never experience such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But if you ever do breed them, make sure you provide plenty of exercise, high-quality food, and a place to sleep.
How pitiful.
Such luxuries mean everything to creatures who only live 1,095 days after they're born. Remember well.
After saying that, Gundam walked away. I feel like I got a glimpse of the deep affection Gundam feels towards all animals, not just hamsters.
Don't get any closer. I already know what you're thinking.
What do you know that even I don't know?
So you have appeared.
Now then, summon your familiar.
No, I don't have anything like that.
You fiend.
You've come challenging me many times. I thought you finally obtained at least one familiar. Just as I thought, you are just a mere, and a strange one at that.
Despite what he's saying, Gundam doesn't seem all that annoyed. Is he opening up to me a little?
How pitiful.
However, you probably don't understand how pointless this place is for a demon beast tamer.
Now that you mention it, even though this is a tropical island, I don't really see any wild animals.
Fine.
If this place really was a normal tropical island, I wouldn't have time to talk to you so freely. Many beasts inhabit the thick forests. There may even be rare species that only exist in this land. Just thinking about it makes me... Ugh.
Wow, he's smiling right now. I seem to recall seeing a cow at the ranch.
Let me tell you this.
Not interested in some domesticated animal?
I had a feeling you'd say that.
Fall, my tears.
After all, I cannot look at it without feeling.
Huh? That's a bit unexpected.
How pitiful.
Such creatures are born to be eaten by humans. Even if I had the all-seeing eye, I couldn't change that fate. Thus, I try not to involve myself with livestock. It would bring a calamity onto my mind, after all.
Gundam understands the feeling of animals, so this must be a complicated subject for him.
This body is uncooperative.
I appear to be getting oddly sentimental, since I haven't encountered any new demon. I've tamed various creatures, such as the Cerberus, the Phoenix, and even the Midgard serpent.
He probably means dogs, birds, and lizards. When you say tamed, what exactly does that entail?
I guess it's fine to tell a mere human. I don't believe that you'll get in my way.
Listen well.
Basically, you must say, good girl, good girl.
Huh?
Just hearing myself say those words in that voice just makes me laugh.
It's very, very silly.
You must repeatedly speak to them and make sure they understand that there is no ill will on our end. In order to do that, you need to appear innocent.
This too must be
Of
the
course,
will of Kazal.
there are some who like to be touched and some that don't. It's better if you keep these basics down.
It appears you cannot escape.
Afterward, as long as you spend a long time together, you'll eventually start to hear your partner's words.
I'm pretty sure that only happens to ultimate breeders. But Gundam seems different from usual when he talks about animals. Somehow, his face seems gentler. He must really love animals.
Fine.
Now then, I wonder if there are evil demon beasts that will rile me up on this island somewhere.
Monokuma and Monami are sort of shaped like animals.
I renounce you.
Are no good. Anything that can talk will eventually betray you.
Okay, fair enough.
How pitiful.
And most importantly, they aren't cute.
I agree. but I don't plan to betray you at all.
Such exaggerations coming from a mere human like you. However, that's a nice line.
Gundam left the area with a different smile on his face than usual. I hope we'll be able to understand each other, even if it's just a little bit at a time.
Hold it. If you come any closer.
I know, I won't get close to you.
This, too, must be the will
It
of
appears you
causality.
finally noticed. The blood that flows within me bears a fearsome curse.
Of course it does.
How pitiful.
Ever since I was young, this body of mine was exposed to so many poisons that it became poisonous itself. If a mere human like you ever touched me, you will immediately decompose and wither away. Thus, I've been trying to make sure you don't get too close to me.
Does that mean you've been thinking of me?
Don't get ahead of yourself. Even if you're just a foolish human, I'm not so cruel as to yearn for a meaningless death.
Can I assume that he's blushing? But he says his blood is poison. What would be the advantage of that?
Silence.
It's not an issue of gains and losses. I became like this because I had to. I have to be like this even if I don't want to be. I've been putting poison in my body ever since I was young.
Sounds somewhat plausible. Could it be... was your mother's cooking bad?
Yeah.
Crap. I was only joking, but it sounds like that was exactly it.
Impossible.
You wouldn't understand how much pain I had to endure. Plus, that woman would cry if I didn't finish my plate. What choice did I have but to suffer in silence?
Don't you feel better now that you've talked about it? I mean, you're actually a really kind guy.
That was close.
Anyway, now that you understand, you shouldn't come any closer to me. Know that if you ever touch me, it would mean death for you.
But that's really lonesome. Hey, Gundam, can I ask you something?
Fine.
You have the fortitude to ask me that.
I didn't even say anything yet. When you were in grade school, did you ever hold hands with any of the other kids?
It's obvious now, but at the time, I was faking my condition. By moving next to the teacher who served me, I was able to avoid questions and survive without any problems.
Did you ever have to do a folk dance?
Impossible.
You don't understand. That is a ceremony for summoning evil deities. Fortunately, the school nurse was in the same tribe as me, so I was able to leave without getting involved.
I see. It might have been bad of me to point out something so unnecessary. I don't know what to say to him anymore. So then, what kind of people are okay to get close to you?
Anyone whose power matches my own. Or... No. There's no way such a being exists. You should just forget about that. For your sake.
With those words, Gundam walked away. He seemed very lonely. What was he going to say? If he just told me, maybe I could have done something about it. If I had, maybe he wouldn't have shouted nonsense at me. He doesn't seem like his usual self.
Why do you keep following me? In truth, there's no way I'd ever associate with someone like you.
Impossible.
But still, why do you continue to hound me? Does this mean my absolute mental defenses are wearing off?
I don't know what you think this is, but we're friends who are working together to escape.
What?
Ugh.
What the? He seized up all of a sudden.
I won't let you!
Settle down, my wicked arm! Are you a Kotodama user? You wish to manipulate me with false words and cheap tricks, don't you?
I'm not trying to manipulate you at all. In fact, you're the one who said I'm just a mere human with no special abilities whatsoever.
You wouldn't understand. I'm in isolation for a reason. There will never be a day when you understand why I became who I am.
I'll destroy you!
I'm the offspring of an angel and a devil, a cursed being, shunned and rejected by everything in this world. Once I lose the only thing I love, I'm destined to spend my last days being devoured alive by demon.
My name is Gundham Tanaka!
Truly, I am mankind's natural foe, evil incarnate, a walking cataclysm, a shapeless insanity, Gundham Tanaka.
He sounds like his normal self, but there's definitely something different about him. There might be a kernel of truth hidden in the words he just spoke. It's true, I don't know anything about what drove you to this point, but I definitely believe that you're my friend. I didn't think that I wouldn't be able to go on. That's it. That's the only reason. As long as you're my friend, I have no desire to take anything away from you and try to force you to change.
This, too, must be the will of causality.
Seems that I completely misread you. I never expected a human like you to contain a singularity.
Have I been promoted from a mere human?
You asked me the other day what sort of existence would be capable of touching me.
So you have appeared.
The answer to that is the singularity. A being who can make the impossible possible by overcoming various limitations.
Huh? Am I really that amazing?
You fiend.
Don't get ahead of yourself. A simple creature like you does not have that much power.
I have not unleashed even half of my power yet.
However, I can lend you my powers as long as you yearn for them.
Then I'll leave this to you.
What?
For you to say that so easily.
Fine.
Well, who cares? Lend me your hand.
I stuck out my hand like he told me to, and after some hesitation, Gundham slowly groped my hand. His hand felt like a normal person's hand, and I definitely didn't wither away and die.
With this, the contract is complete. I will not allow you to die without my permission.
I really want to say that to him too, but he'll definitely yell at me if I do. Instead, I gripped Gundam's hand so tightly that it started hurting.
Yeah.
Somehow it became a battle of endurance, but I felt a strong bond between Gundam and me. Which reminds me, it's been a long time since I felt so happy being acknowledged by someone. Yay, and Gundam complete. And let's not forget,
Yeah,
The
his
underwear.
underwear.
which I think are like invisible or something. They're see-through. Very strange.
Yeah.
Danganronpa.